Okay, the Citroen 2CV. So there is a bit of interest in this, and if you just watch the short, I've just taken off the airbox there. It's all covered in bits of the air filter and oil, and despite having a fairly good service history, it looks like it was never changed. So that is on order. We'll get that back on. So this is what we've got, and I'm just going to show you around it because it is an interesting car. It's a type of thing I really like to work on, and yeah, it's an interesting one to buy really. So I think what I'm going to do, obviously we're on ST170 restoration. That's the second uncut channel for ST170 restoration, where we are restoring the Ford Focus ST170. I'm going to put a lot of the Citroen stuff on this channel because there is a bit of interest in it, and I think I will film it and do a bit of work to it, sort of rough cut, and yeah, just see what's what. But let me show you around the car. I've been driving, probably done about 500 miles in it or so, 500 or 600 miles, just buzzing around locally. I've actually been up to Ipswich in it as well, and it did do very well in the A12. So yeah, but let me just show you what we got. So as far as I know, I'm no expert on these. I've just literally started to mess around with it. I haven't even got a Haynes manual yet. Let me just show you around the engine. So obviously we have that disgusting air filter box there that hasn't been changed. That goes on the top there. And then this is all, as far as I know, this is yeah, this is the carburettor. So yeah, the plan would be to basically recondition that and tune it up. I'd have to take it to a specialist, probably get that properly tuned. And then as well with these cars, you have to do the tappets as well, because they they need to be adjusted regularly. Otherwise you get things like when it's hot, you try and start it and the valves aren't properly closed, it won't start, things like that. So that is the regular maintenance. Let's push that back there. Don't know whether I'll be able to get another one of those. So, but yeah, so it is air cooled, and so we have this big fan on the front there, so it blows air into the engine this way. You can start it with a starting handle that's in the boot, and it's sort of a bit similar to the Beetle that I used to have really, except on this you only have 2 cylinders, so it's a flat twin. So the let me just see where they are, somewhere down here, the cylinders, they're like the pistons go this way, so they're going side to side, one that way, one that way. And so we have sort of various heat exchangers here. This takes the air through into the heater, and so we have these tubes here. This one is actually squashed. This vents the hot air out underneath the wheel arch, so that side it's nice and plump, so that's working okay. I would imagine this one is a bit restricted, so that's going to be something I have to sort out fairly quickly. So yeah, so that is yeah, it's like a T-shape, so cylinders, one there, carburettor, and then we've got the starter motor there. You can use that, or you can be traditional and use that, but it is easier to use that. And then we move back here, we have inboard brakes, so kind of like the rear of an E-type Jag. That's where the similarities end. So the brake discs are down there. You got one there with the pads on, little caliper there, another one there, and yeah, they're inboard, so inside of yeah, basically inside the engine bay there. And then the best part about this car is the gearbox. So you've got a tiny little gearbox there. This is the linkage, and it goes straight through the bulkhead into that thing that you pull in and out of the dash. I absolutely hated that when I first got this car for a day because I couldn't work it, but the second you get used to it, the gearbox on these, perfect. It's the nicest gearbox you could ever use on any car ever. Really, really nice. And I have noticed driving it around that you basically, let me show you actually, you come this way, I'll show you. So this is obviously designed for, yeah, buzzing around on little French lanes or whatever. So if I just take it this way, okay, these seats need to be done as well. I'm collapsing into these seats, but the gears, so basically that's neutral, so you got a little mark there, the neutral mark, and then you have your diagram there. So it's a little bit misleading, but it's kind of yeah, this is how you do it. So basically you want to go into first gear, you are right down and you pull it out. That's first gear. So that's in a weird position because you don't normally go into first because you've got no synchro mesh on first and you have to stop. So most of the time, so we take it back into neutral, and then we're now pushing it into second. So that's second and that's third. So most of the time when you're driving this car, you are simply going in between second and third and second and third, and that's it. That's why they're like that. So they're really nice and easy to use. If you're on the dual carriageway, you don't push it all the way in, you go from third to second to third. Yeah, so If you're on the dual carriageway and you're in third, you want to go into fourth, you push it just halfway, push it over, and then you're into fourth. The fourth gear is really nice. So basically, you would think it would be struggling, because basically it'll even with the carb as it is and all the dirty air filter and that, it will tick over beautifully at 50 miles an hour in fourth gear, not struggling at all. And you know, I haven't put on my you know, white scarf or goggles yet. I haven't done 70 in this, but I think it would do 70 really nicely, and it wouldn't actually be struggling, because the gear rate of a fourth, it settles down beautifully. And yeah, you can probably do a very long distance of this without the engine, you know, really straining. So yeah, really happy with that. But most of the time, as I say, you will drop out and it will naturally drop in between second and third gear. You want to go into reverse, you pull it right over, and then you are into reverse there. So yeah, that's that. And I'll just show you around the rest of this while we're in here. So we have a selection of switches there. We have various, you've got the wiper, hazard lights, fog lights there. I did actually take the sun visors off in here because they were razor sharp metal, and I didn't want to, you know, you've got very little protection in this, and I didn't want to get my forehead on that. In the front here we have got inertia reel seat belts. Obviously we don't have any head restraints, so any praying you have in this, you know, you want to really try and avoid that. Goes without saying. And then we just move back here, so I'll give you the wide shot of the seats. Yeah, so we've got the seats. So these need to be reconditioned. So basically these are a canvas base, and then they have these little rubber rings all the way around the outside, and what happens is the rubber perishes and the seat ends up like this. So when you sit on this seat, you sink right in. You can buy a kit, and that is what I'm going to do. The kit comes with the canvas and the, you know, the rings and everything, and then we put on you know, different covers. We can, you know, get the same style, or we can upgrade it or whatever. In here I have taken out the back seats because they were in a terrible condition and losing foam everywhere. Let me just unlock the back door for you here. Let me come out of here, I'll show you in the back. Come through this way. When I first got the car, the fuel gauge, break the iPhone. When I first got the car, the fuel gauge wasn't working, and that was because these wires are pulled out here. So these are sort of flopped in here, and the connection had come out. So that was a nice easy fix. The previous owner has put on a galvanised chassis into this car, and he's also changed the floors. So this is a really solid example. It just, the bodywork, you know, the paintwork just looks a little bit tatty, but the car is very solid. In the boot there, I'll show you from this side. We have the spare wheel and various bits and bobs under there. And of course we have the lovely convertible roof there, which is in nice condition. That just rolls back. But let me just show you the galvanised chassis under here. Okay. Step this way under this car. Again, I haven't had this up on ramps yet. I haven't washed it. I haven't done anything to it, because the second I start doing stuff to it, I'm going to see stuff. So yeah, this is a galvanised chassis. You have a galvanised floor there, and you don't have any corrosion on this, and that is what you want. So by now, the youngest of these cars is approaching 40 years old, so this will most likely have been done, unless you find one that's never been outside or anything. So yeah, we are on galvanised chassis, and that is probably what you get in one of these. I'll just show you under the front there. There is a tiny little oil leak, which is I think it's coming from the oh, there we go, we can see some of the workings there. Yes, the chassis at the front there, got the exhaust silencer under there. Yeah, so problems that I know about so far, buzzing this around for a few hundred miles, 500 miles, 700 miles, whatever I've done. Tiny little oil leak, I'm talking just one drop every day. You can hardly notice it, but I picked up on it. I think that's coming off the rocker cover, so hopefully nothing major there. Bogs down a little bit when you are you know, going into, you know, third gear or something, and you ask for a little bit of power, put your foot down, it kind of bogs down a bit. All you do, as with any classic car, you lift your foot off and it picks up again, and it's not a problem. So it's never been an issue, hasn't really missed a beat at all. You know, that may well be because of the air filter. I suspect though it's going to need you know, take the carb off, give it a clean, buy a reconditioning kit, have it tuned up, changed. I presume there's a fuel filter somewhere, I don't know, but we're going to be looking at all that. And just working through it and checking it's all right. The electrics on this are very crusty, so we do have here, you may have noticed this amazing spaghetti here. These are very crusty old electrics. You can buy loom, I think, for £300 or £400. So I mean, maybe I'll just change the loom. I could just do that really. So I am thinking of doing that. I haven't joined the owners club yet. I will be joining the 2CV. I think the previous owner did. I'll just show you the sticker on the back. I will be joining this one. I just haven't got around to it. Yeah, 2CV. So this club here, you get all the deals on all of the you know, stuff that you could want and things for the car, everything like that, and you know, spare parts or whatever. So I would like to pick up some spare parts. I want to pick up a spare clutch cable, spare accelerator cable, keep all that kind of stuff, bearing in mind it needs servicing so regularly, a couple of oils, you know, 2 or 3 oil filters, keep it all in there so that I can just go ahead and do that, and obviously a spare air filter as well, that kind of thing. And yeah, I'll just show you the brakes as well. We've got the brake cylinder here. So down there we have obviously no servo assistance on that. But yeah, this sort of green stuff in here that I forget what it is, but it's some sort of silicon classic car stuff, I think. It's not the stuff that absorbs water, so hopefully that's all right. The brakes on this are fairly firm, but again, you know, driving any car that's nearly 40 years old, 38 years old, whatever, I don't trust the brakes. Looking a long way down the road, trying to guess, you know, trying to read the road, and you know, never expect them to fully work. But as far as I know, they, you know, driving it around, they've been fine. They are quite sharp. Tyres, we have got the wrong tyres on this as well. So down here, these are cheapy ones somebody's put on the front here. These are cheapy Toyo tyres, and this is all you know, I'm no expert in this. This is just what I picked up so far, you know, in the month I've had this. So these are Toyos, these aren't meant to be on here. What you're meant to have is Michelins. So let's have a look down here. These are the Michelins you're meant to have. He did, the previous owner did put a new one of these on, so that's what it should look like. You've got the little sipes in there, and that's what you need for the proper handling of this car, because I'm led to believe, I could be wrong, I don't know, but Citroen was owned or had some sort of a collaboration with Michelin, and it was designed to run on those tyres. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it is. So apparently if I don't have these tyres all round, the car doesn't handle as it's supposed to. And I have noticed it feels a bit heavier on the steering than I was expecting, but then when I got it, the tyre was down to, you know, 15 psi or whatever. It'd been in the garage for a long time, so but it was a little bit heavier than I was expecting there. So I will be getting Michelin, I think the Michelin X tyres all round. So get these Toyos off. There's a dead one on the back there, and we're going to put this Michelin in the boot, and then put 4 new Michelins on there, and that should be that. So yeah, that's basically what I'm playing with at the moment. I will do some stuff on this. We'll make some videos alongside doing the ST170, so that's in the garage, getting various bits done. I need to get my van sorted out, so that's all being reconditioned, and then we'll be back on the ST170 alongside working on this on the second channel, ST171 restoration. So the main channel is ST170 restoration, and yeah, we'll be over here on this channel and the other channel, and yeah, doing bits and bobs of this. So I'm just going to go and see what the guard dog wants, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. Take care.